Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Islands of Insight. So hopefully everything sounds okay and everything is alright. I decided to change some settings, update the BIOS on my computer, change how audio is collected through OBS, through a new version of OBS, turn the fans up on my GPU to be on more often and at a higher speeds. So just a lot of settings that really I should have done in between a series, but this series in particular is just going to be so long that it just wasn't worth trying it. From my side, it sounds like everything is working, and so we will see if it looks like everything is working. There's a shame, certainly. I have a RTX 2080 video card, and at this point 3D Mark has put out a new stress test, as it were. I have the needle. A tight frame of mind. Interesting, this may be exactly one puzzle. No, it's just 10 puzzles apparently. And I guess we're jumping around. So this is a good one to do for emerald rings. These are going to just be, I assume, very difficult armorally rings. I don't really know. Armillary. And it kind of just looks like there's nothing else in this section. Like, I'm not seeing anything hidden at all. This may just be a long journey. So yeah, we might have a situation here where it is just gonna be maybe a little bit better on the graphics, a little less frame rate nonsense, stuttering. But yeah, this is one of those. This is a newer game, and as a newer game, I don't think a 2080 is going to 100% cut it. Imagine we might end up crouching down quite a bit. And yeah, I am kind of in a weird situation, and we all are. Windows gamers in particular, yeah, are all in a weird situation where I'm giving some real thought instead of being forced by the elimination of support of Windows 10 to move to Windows 11. I'm giving real thought. There's a different puzzle, type of puzzle, to doing a Linux build like Kubuntu for my computer. That would be Ubuntu with the KDE desktop environment that looks a little bit like Windows 10 looks like. If I go here, I'm going through that. So I don't know how you would hit that. You're gonna have to be at certain angles, very specific angles, I think is the trick here. And a lot of this is gonna be standing at the right spot. Well, weirdly, that's kind of the exact opposite of what you need. could see a little bit of an angle there. If we could take that angle. Oh, I seriously think this might be way more difficult than it seems. It's definitely been easy, relatively speaking, before. It's this one ring that's acting as our spoiler, which pretty much means you have to hit it from this angle. Then I've got to get this ring to line up. Yeah, that's still not it. Moving on, I think we are going to end up just going back and forth on a lot of this. There's going to be exactly one angle on all these. And a lot of times I think it is going to be in such a way that you're going to have to get just that perfect shot. I think it's two of them. I didn't even see that one when I was over here. There is a real danger in having there are puzzles like this, in that if I don't get enough progress on even a single one, I may get frustrated, or a player in general may get frustrated. Yeah. I think the trick on this one is you've got to slice in between those two. Which I think may very well mean that you have to be in between this tree, the tree and the road. This may also just become a click fest, or a crouching down fest. Might also be a case where you actually just have to be really, really far away. That too feels like that's a possibility. And at any point you could fall. So you have to be careful of that too. That's the one we're missing. This is gonna be a lot more work than the ones we've done before, which is funny because for the most part these rings have always felt like they were the easy falling action challenges designed specifically to make the player feel good about themselves and gain a little bit of points. I wouldn't say it's an invalid choice though to change things up and make them difficult. If anything, that's a nice evolution of it. I still wouldn't hit that one though. Man, there's like a whole different angle to this. I suspect the move is probably to stand over here and see if you can hit everything. Doesn't seem like that's going to work. See what the Lord Giver says. Trans-universal proverb. Even a hurricane has a point of stillness. So, I guess that's loosely connected to the idea of the eye of a storm. But the name of this area is actually called Eye of the Needle, so in that. Trees are getting in the way. Okay. If I can find the angle and figure it out. Which one am I missing here? If I know the angle, if it looks pretty obvious what the angle is, these aren't as difficult. Although, they start to get difficult when there's that extra element of potentially falling off the edge. Right, so how would I hit that one? In a lot of ways, this is really just, can you line up as much as possible? So whatever corner is going to overlap the most, probably, is the corner to look through. I think that one probably is from a higher angle. This one I think is probably from a higher angle too. We have to find just the exact right pixel so we're not sending our laser beam, our finger gun laser, through the purple ring. I suspect we will find that there are more. Whoops. Where am I? I'm back where I was. Yeah, I suspect we'll find more than 10 rings to solve anyways. So this will probably prove to be fairly easy. Or at the very least, I don't think we're gonna run into awful scenarios where we're struggling. Feels like there might be a bit of a cave here. Yes, there is. Is the cave the right angle, or the correct angle? Don't really think it is. It might be. Don't have extra zoom abilities. However, so there's the one ring I'm missing. I'm not sure that jumping actually makes me uncrouch. Let's see. I guess it does. It's hard to tell. Here, which that ring almost certainly means we have to be looking in a spot. There's kind of a element here that if it looks like this would be a cool way that the puzzle could be solved, if it looks like that would give you a little bit of a challenge, you should run towards the challenge mentally and just assume that that is the correct answer. Because if the answer was simple, it would be a very boring puzzle. This is another area that I think also might just be really small. Yeah, if the answer was just click here, that would be really too simple and silly. Answers are all going to be in these very tight areas. So we get a Mariblis, which leads to yet another hint. There's still quite a lot of those to collect. I'm not sure I could really count. And so now the bonus is just to do 15 more. We could also turn the Luminous quest in. I'm not sure if I really should do that. Let's take a moment just to see where we are with sparks. We are back in the positive. I have no idea what happened that put me in the negative before. But knowing that I assume glitch can happen, I should spin sparks as fast as possible and not sit on them. I imagine the move here, the smart move, is to kind of rush through this area and see the landmass in itself, and then from that spot come back and look. Yeah, I don't see a way that you aren't supposed to just shoot it upward. The weird thing is you're going to be right on this platform, if that's the move. Interesting. Crouching down also does something for you. Interesting. I crouched down on that and it says the abyss stares back at you. Have we found some kind of mystery? Apparently, I bet we have. Because who would think to crouch and walk on in a... No, I don't get why this ring is not getting counted. It's like this ring is... Like, I'm trying to find that, what would be a pixel perfect separation there. I guess it's kind of there. So I'm just gonna slowly walk backwards, I guess. But I'm hitting a wall. Yeah, I suspect a lot of these answers are going to be very far away. I almost had it there. And there's just no way you're gonna pull that off. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna jump up. Are getting tighter and tighter. Let's see. This one feels like it really shouldn't be that difficult. You're just not going to be able to jump up and hit the exact correct angle. These, assuming I'm not hearing something else, these rings seem to give off a little bit of a sound effect. I'm not sure if you really need that sound effect or not, but when I get near them, kind of have this skittering, almost insect-like sound effect to them. That may actually be a sound effect of me shooting little laser beams. I guess it is. That seems unnecessary. Although it's hard to say when a game shouldn't have sound effects. It's much easier to say when a game should have sound effects. I do have this slight wish that the areas we visited were shifting around and changing more often. It is very much Route 1 basic game design that you would have an entire, wow, we are really far away, have an entire section all under one theme. And a big reason for that is just texture optimization, and you wouldn't want to load and unload things and slow down the game because of that loading and unloading. But ideally, if that was not a concern, I would like one island to be completely different from another island, and that there would be this distinctive, you know, that island over there is not connected to this island because it has a completely different art style. Maybe even color palette swaps might be a thing. One thing you certainly could have done is a fog. Of course, that would have destroyed the beautiful open world that they've spent, in my opinion, way too much energy making, but can't deny that it's not pretty. I think we need to go ahead and jump up higher. We'll use our large jump. Tight frame of mind. Is there any possibility that's the right solution for that one? Probably not. Probably not. it is weird how this one, whoops, like this one type of puzzle just carries the weight of an entire enclave, whereas every other type of puzzle has to lean on having several other kinds of puzzles. I do think it actually accomplishes that thought of being much more standalone. Of course, you still run into the exact same nonsense. That's not the right angle. Where if you had made 10,000 puzzles, yeah, if you'd made 10,000 of these types of puzzles, that still wouldn't have been a good idea. 10,000 of any kind of puzzle is just going to be an insane, way too big of a number to even mention. It really isn't even a good sales pitch. I think you're going to run into just as many people who are going to be turned off by the idea of this game has 10,000 plus puzzles as you are who are going to be intrigued by that idea. Yeah, humans generally don't think in terms of 10,000s. Tens of thousands of things. It's an embarrassment of riches. Or in this case, an embarrassment of puzzles. I do suspect a lot of those puzzles way over at the beginning are very much limited to being only solvable from this much further away distance. And it kind of is that same thought too. If you're seeing something that looks like it might be easy, or if you're seeing a ring right next to you, it probably isn't going to be that simple. Probably are going to have to get a weird angle. I guess you need to actually see at least a pixel sky in between it. For all I know, the game is actually looking for that. Actually, it would be very interesting to know how they have programmed these games to test for whether you're correct or not. Because that would be something that isn't just going to be standard. I'm not going to go to the Unreal Asset Store and have armadillo rings as a puzzle type, just pre-coded, pre-programmed, set up so that all you have to do is drag and drop it into your game. figure out what the angle was. There's so many purple rings in this one. There we go. Seven more to do. Have I actually run it into 7 of them? Definitely seems to me like if there are 7 more to do, there very well may only be 7. We know of at least 3 or 4 of them in this first area. I guess one of the things you can do here is, if you kind of know the angle at which you're trying to go for everything, you can, I guess, try and slowly adjust yourself with every click. It is just this one gold ring. Well, on the face of it, you do have to admit that click, 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 click is not the best audio experience. I guess maybe that's where you throw in some music to try and help the whole experience a bit. Is there any possible way? What am I missing? Come on, what am I missing? Might be a great example where it would be beneficial for the game to just cheat in your favor. And say you're close enough. There's like an extra ring over here. Yeah. So I gotta hit that ring from that angle. So that actually limits you, I think, to just this circular area. You've got to get everything and I guess if you just sit there and click on it forever, you'll eventually get it. This one's got me thrown through a loop though. I don't really see the path here. It's gotta be something over here. Whoops. Notice how little I even care now about falling off the edge of things. On a rare occasion, if the frame rates I think are a little weird, or if I'm in a weird mental state, I might feel a little vertigo just falling off the edge of the world, but in a game. But in this case, I'm totally not. Okay, I think it's right there. We've got to find a way to line up a little bit higher. So we are going between this ring, that ring, and that ring. Okay. Zooming in, then trying to turn around. Not the wisest way to do that. And you're kind of tied into an angle here, so you can really only swing left and right so much. You're also going to be so far away. This might be a crouch down puzzle. Don't think it's I don't think you're supposed to be super close. And there's just no way you're going to hit that from that angle. There is, I guess, a small possibility. That's two of the rings there. So it wasn't over on that side. Close. I definitely feel like, though, some players would just get frustrated with this and give up very quickly. It is this pixel perfect thing, which also brings about an interesting question as far as what it would happen if I turn the resolution down. on the game. Would that make it easier to click on the right pixel? Very well might. In this case, you really do just need to look at the in-between of the middle and the bottom purple ring. And you can't climb trees, and you really can't get on top of trees. You have 4 more of these. Almost certainly I would believe that this is supposed to be between this tree. It's just too tempting for a game designer to do something like that. Might be. This is really just gonna be a lot of clicking. It could be on the other side of the tree. But yeah, that feels like that is the spot right there that you're going for. You need to be up higher. You need to catch just the lip of it. Is it possible it's the other direction? Maybe if we stood right here on this ledge, we could do something similar. Don't think so. Not without, once again, jumping. Might be a place where a slow down your fall ability might be helpful. If we could slowly glide. If anything, it's almost certainly trying to help me with the trees being in the spot they are. Maybe I'm too obsessed about the trees though. Maybe it is just a crouch downward. get that perfect angle. Just need a little bit of help. Just one little pixel. That's all we need. One little pixel of space in between the purple ring and the gold ring and the other gold ring. You can pretty well tell this isn't directing me very well as far as which way to go. My question, certainly if I'm ever actually supposed to. Well, you know what I'm probably doing is I'm trying to slice it in the middle. But if I get high enough here, I might be able to slice it between the middle one and the top one instead of the middle one and the bottom one. Would have to be particularly high though to get that one little pixel. And if I was going to get that one little pixel, I also think I would have to be trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Perhaps there is something to just being slightly lower on this rock. Actually, I think this is probably the solution. So I was just in the total wrong spot. This music is starting to get a little repetitive. Let's run around and see if we can find something different to deal with, because no, that one's getting annoying. I suppose it is possible that there are some rings that are actually best solved like far, far away. This one should be fairly easy to do. guess you probably go through this ring. And then it's going to be one little pixel. I'm pretty sure it's this. Gotta shoot it through like that. Question is, how do we get an angle there? It would also include this one. Yeah, I just don't really believe that that's the way you're supposed to solve things. That just seems so weird. Interesting light. Then the lamp's here, not lit. That rock seems kind of oddly unique. From this angle, can I get it? No. Let's see if I was supposed to get anything here. The trees are blocking my view, and I think that's very possibly intentional. Perhaps it makes some sense to just look around the ring of the purple ring and see what angles that would even cause any problems for this ring. Okay. Getting close. Maybe it's from this angle. It does seem very close. So you can get both of those. So if I could just get that one in front, line up with both of those. It's either you're too high or you're too low. Apparently, even a small leaf in the way is totally blocking the path, too. Oh, come on. I feel like we're so close. shouldn't be this difficult. I can't even see the ring from that point. These are all going to get super annoying. It kind of wouldn't make sense though if you would have crouched down. Maybe not crouch down. It does seem like everything opens up from a crouch down angle a lot more. Is it possible that the solution is to really just get super up in its business? You gotta be right next to it, possibly. See, because that angle there just opens up everything. So if I could just take that angle there, and then apply it. Then move back. Okay, so if I need to move back more, then I probably need to be higher. We have 4 more of these. I know of 2 of them. There's a 3rd one. We could probably get that one pretty easily. Let's again try and finish off this one. From this angle. That seems too high. I'm thinking you need to be in the middle here. Yeah, it seems very close. Of course, one of the issues here is one little strafe changes a lot. You would expect that when you are holding down when you're holding down the mouse or when you're in a crouch mode, you might move just a little bit slower. And see, at this point, this is not going to feel particularly earned as a, if I do get the solution here. It's not going to feel like I did anything amazing. Could be a case where you actually do have to be just a little bit lower, a little bit higher. What would happen if I just clicked without zooming? Probably nothing. I was thinking maybe I'm being held to a higher standard because I'm zoomed in. Maybe the game would cheat more in my favor. See a little bit of red here. Ah, forget it. Let's keep momentum. I'll try to maintain some level of momentum here by jumping around. Okay, so on this, I don't see a way we're gonna solve that without being at a certain angle. It's either gonna be from that angle or from a weird angle. There's kind of this crouch down spot. I wonder if that's going to play a role on that puzzle, or if maybe it even is supposed to play a role on this puzzle. I'm still looking for, I believe, 2 puzzles. This whole area is, I think, intentionally blocked off. Maybe you're supposed to work your way around that problem. I guess not in that case. So I don't see that angle being right. Could it be an upward angle? I think it's probably more of a downward angle. It gets a lot of them. That angle gets almost all of them. We can crouch down. No, you still need this one and that one so it line up. Which that definitely implies. Here's a 4th one. So I think we have seen them all. That one, I guess I didn't probably work on very much, because that was rather easy. If I could get just one more, I can get that one. This higher angle. There we go. It leaves us with 2 rather annoying puzzles left. And it was probably always a high chance that there would be a couple of annoying puzzles left. It didn't inherently have to be these puzzles. But, yeah. Odds were always high that you would have some level of difficulty spike. So a question to ask certainly is it possible that this is the right angle for that? I think the answer to that is almost certainly no. It's also a conversation worth having that some of these puzzles, some of these enclaves, have more difficult challenges, and then some of them just have a bonus section, and that bonus section alone becomes the 100% solve. We're very close. Seems like it's probably right in this line. Or somewhat close to that line. I just don't know what else to do. Like that leaves a nice opening where you can get those two rings, and then you just hit this wall. Hit that wall. So yeah, it definitely feels like the trick is to be down here. Come on. Let's see if maybe there's another way. There is another way. I've been doing this wrong the whole time. When the move is to just get lucky, I think. Yep. So the lesson probably to learn there is that if you're trying something and it's not working for a long amount of time, either give up and go somewhere else, which with 10,000 puzzles makes a lot of sense, or unlock your brain from that pattern of thought and see if maybe there's another twist or angle to this that, of course, I immediately don't really want to do that. So some possibility we could stand on the tree. It is noticeable that we didn't really see that gimmick happen anywhere else. If it was going to be a gimmick of shooting in between trees. If anything, we've seen the exact opposite, where the trees have intentionally been placed to make it impossible to shoot in certain areas. And from this side, it just seems like, nope, not possibly. They really put that one exactly in the worst spot. Maybe there is a trick here. I can't imagine it's if we're going upward. Is there any other angle which we might go downward in between these two rings? I think you have to step up to at least this spot. Then, because we stepped up. That's actually a better angle. Once again though, we almost have it. So I don't know if maybe we need to actually not be on the bridge and a step forward. So that almost seems perfect. Just see from this angle if it's possible we could have hit it. You would think it would be like this broken rail. And I guess maybe if I got high enough, I might be able to go just like above the edge of this purple ring, and then hit just the tip of that. If I could get high enough. At least that's something different to try. I think this probably highlights the exact problem you're going to run into if you have an island and an enclave all around just one theme, though. So close. I guess this might be an indication of actual game testing that happened on this, that somebody went through every single angle, or they had a pretty good procedural ray tracing type algorithm that could look through that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if ray tracing is exactly how these are working. Ray testing, maybe more appropriate term. I gotta be doing something wrong here. This can't be the intended goal. I would have gotten it right by now. Okay. If those two line up, is there a way? See, because like this gold ring here stops at the edge of the purple ring. So we can see from this angle there would be a way to shoot over the purple ring. But I would still have to hit it while going through the other ring. Yeah, let's just look and see if maybe there is some kind of crazy, really close angle I didn't consider. Everything still screams that you've got to get this and that to line up with that, which that's obvious, no doubt. Maybe it's a bit in the middle here. Maybe you're supposed to stand next to the tree. No, because you need the angles. You need to be higher up. What I should keep an eye out for here is there's a specific point here where I'm getting this ring clicked on without clicking on the purple ring. And until we have that part addressed, it's not even worth looking at the other two parts. Is there any possible way? Otherwise, let's walk over here and consider some other angles. Since we've tried everything over here dozens of times now. Is it possible that I need to be way at the top there? It's possible that maybe way over here. I mean, at a certain point, that's just blocking your view. You can't even see it. How many times am I going to fall off this? Is it possible that over here might reveal something? Hey, there's another ring. Let's do that one. At least that's something different to do. And stupidly, that means that there are more rings. So I think we may want to just leave this area. Not sure you can actually do this ring from this angle. You may need to. It'd be kind of crazy if you have to fly through the whole air to hit it. Where'd it go? It's right there. This is just going to take a little bit of clicking. But I do think I have the whole angle there. Okay. And there's one still available. I was not expecting that. There would literally be one. So here's a question to ask. We get a Mare Bliss when we do the goal. We get a Mare Bliss when we do the bonus. Do we get a Mare Bliss? I wish I kind of knew what a Mare Bliss was. It's probably in the dictionary. Do we get a Mare Bliss for doing 100%? That's worth knowing. Oh yeah, one of the other things I didn't mention that I changed here is Open Broadcast software, which is what I use to record these videos, has a new beta function to directly record audio from applications, excluding audio from other applications, whereas in the past it has very much been the case that just any audio playing at all would have gotten recorded without installing software like Voice Meter Banana, which then lets you route. Interesting how these plants here are, the foliage here is missing. I wonder if that's supposed to be a hint. Is it a hint? How could it be a hint, though? There just isn't a single spot on that tree where you could stand. Okay, so we were thinking that maybe the solution is actually way over here. Notice how this path kind of curves around and then you have to make your own path to go further. I don't know if you would really call that good game design, but it at least is different, and anything different I'll take. Okay. From this angle, from this distance, I just don't think you're gonna see I can see two of the rings. Definitely think I'd have to be even zoomed in. Really can't see the other one, and I'm definitely not high enough. I'm too high. So if that was the solution, it would have to be something closer to this, and once you get on the ground over here, there's trees intentionally placed all over the edges. There's a small possibility, I guess, that might be the right angle. It's possible. It's kind of hard to believe. Maybe, just maybe, you're supposed to crouch down and shoot through this. Yeah. You really can't hit that third ring until you're facing this direction. And this gets you to this spot. I think I'm on the verge of falling off. Might be part of the problem here too, is that every time you fall off you get reset. That can't get me up there. Gotta be another angle to this. That angle gets us to think the only sane thing to do is probably to give up. We more than likely we know what needs to be done. We just can't find the exact pixel spot what needs to stand in to make it happen. Yeah, unless there was some weird point here where let's get out of here. We want to maintain momentum as much as possible in general anyways, because we still know that there's a significant amount of game here, so we'll leave that for cleanup. And let's see, what we want to do next is cascading rays, which I had put a marker on and then it glitched how it had depicted the marker. Should I spend anything here? Can I spend anything here? No. Area numbers must equal regions. Okay. This is actually going to, I think, work fairly well. Well, this white and this white locks this in, and so then that has to be there. That then means that has to be white, and that has to be white. And then it means probably, see, if this was black, that'd be only 4. If this is black, that is 5. So that is white, and that is white. Then if we do an assumption here and did this, you'd still only be at 5, so that has to be black. That doesn't inherently mean that is black, but that does make that white and that white, which then that gets that to 6. And then there. Just have a different kind of puzzle. Which, obviously, that's what that enclave needed. Actually, let's just go ahead and fast travel here since we have a luminous quest, daily quest to claim. And here we have a rare luminous quest for 2000, so might as well take it and then hope that doesn't screw us over in some way. At some point we would have 6,000 and get dual luminous quest. Let's see. There we go. Combo chains. We're not sure what the combo chain really does, but I would assume it would give me more things, more sparks. Okay. The game just wants me to move on to the next area. I'm not quite ready to do that. I guess this is the previous area. And with all the water and loading there, it stuttered for a second. Figure why not we? Why not? Since we're frustrated with one thing, I'll do another. Trying to see the shapes here. How many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to eliminate quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just move very slowly here and we should get this. I guess at a certain point, if you have a number you can count on, that is going to make that easier. Anything and everything should be done. There's really no reason not to. Those puzzles are probably too easy considering how much space they take. Okay. All numbers are off by 1, it says. So 4 and 5 can't ever be the same. 3, 4, and 5 would mean couldn't be it. This could be a 4, and this could be a 4, and this could be a 4. And then all of those would be correct at that point. And then that could be a 1, and then that could be a 3. And still, just because of the way you're encouraged here to do the enclaves and unlock more puzzles first before doing the regular overworld. I'm really running through the whole overworld without giving it much of a chance. Okay, blue, 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 red, green. You gotta get green in the right spot first, and then let's see. Red and yellow would never work. So blue and green would never work. Okay. Okay. took longer than I had hoped it would have. I was hoping for a bonus. These are logic grids. So let's leave the area once again. I believe this is the area we had already figured out how to get to, just using the really tall jumps. So these might be very difficult logic grids. Okay, darts count the opposite colors of cells. So that means there's 3 black here, 2 white there. Okay. And at a certain level, this is almost certainly close to a Sudoku puzzle. Let's see, you have to have 5 this way. You have to have 5 this way. Then that means the 4 this way and the 4 this way. Oh, the 1 here and the 1 here are filled in. Then 4 this way, 4 that way, and then 2 here and 2 here, and that. Okay. This is interesting. A 1 here means that there would be 2 here, which means that has to be white, which means that has to be that has to be white, and then that. Blanks don't tell us anything, do they? That tells us that much. That tells me that much. That tells me that much. That tells me that much. I guess this one and this one don't really interact at all. What else can we tell? Well, this 2 is not really telling me much, but this is. There we go. And then that fills that in, and that fills that in. So we got just a full-on mirror bliss. And I wonder if these hints to mysteries are specifically linked to specific challenges. I think it is, because we've just awakened logic grids with darts. So you awaken areas, these overworld areas, we're zoomed out too much here, to get to enclaves, to find the small number of enclaves that really matter, that have towers of insight that would awaken something. Alright. We can go with that. And then we could go with that. And we could go with that. And it feels like progress stopped. There. Or maybe not. Okay. 2, 3, 4 means all of those are correct. Which means that's not correct, and that's not correct, and then that has to be there. Now we have mixing and matching of things under higher limitations, so we probably should just ignore the letters to start with and see what the rest of this is going to be. Okay. The weird thing here is you kind of could just do that and connect to that and then connect to that if it would let you. And then I would assume these white tiles would still connect them all. And at a certain point, I think you have to do that. In fact, if I was to guess, you have to do something almost exactly like that. I've made an assumption here, and I'm hoping it's correct. Otherwise, I'm just going to use some foresights. Then at a certain point, if that's black and that's black, it's kind of all you have to do. The rest of these could all be white. That was a 4-star difficulty one. Just made some assumptions there. Inherently, I think you're probably fine making assumptions. So when we were here before, none of these were open to us. So okay. What can we know for certain? This again is somewhat like a Sudoku variant. Maybe they're making a smart move here by not just giving you 10,000 plus Sudoku games, but taking general concepts and applying it to grid puzzles instead. Eventually, I imagine we'll just see some black darts. Okay. Let's see. If this was black and that was black, that would be fine. But if this was white, that won't work. And if that was white, that won't work. So you start at the beginning here. That way. Then next step on this is we have 4, which I'd half assume is that. Do I really have a reason to assume it's that? Well, Actually, this has to be white, which then means that has to be black, which means that has to be white. And we have no clue. Then that has to be black. And those have to be black. And we'd already done this one. So my general hope here is that we can just kind of do the entirety of this puzzle. And this had a different rule, so because we can't make two in a row, play a certain way. And that rule still made that be the only way you could possibly have done that. Okay, I need two here, which my thought would be how can we do that? No, that works. We need 3, 2. Could do 2 this way. Then that would be 1. Then I couldn't be doing 2, so it has to be this way with one of those. Same is true here with that. That fills in that entire spot. I can just go ahead and fill the rest of that in white. Doesn't matter. Like, you could fill it in dark, but only in a few places. Okay. And then since there's only one here, it goes this way. And I guess, yeah, you could put no extra dark here. You can't put one here, you can't put one here. So there was actually only one solution to that puzzle. I don't know if there's any secrets here. It feels like these last two enclaves of this area are specifically trying their best to be hidden. Let's see. Is there a way I can get 2 into this pattern? Oh. No. So let's just mark what we know must be true. Do we know that that must be true? No, I don't think we do. Yeah. And weirdly, like the ring enclave, we just don't have any secrets. See what the Lord Giver says. Hello, the scholar. I have gazed at the fracture from many places across this lands, but it looks the same from everywhere I have stood. It must be incredibly far away, or unfathomably large. Keep talking about this fracture. Is it supposed to be that? Like these are just markers. Is it supposed to be that? Or is there possibly a fracture deep at the base? I would generally assume it's that. But if that is the case, why is it facing that way? So I would secondarily guess it's there. So the spinning nature of this on top of connecting all light cells must have a factor here. If I drew a 3 here, still doesn't really stop the light cells from being connected. If I drew a 2 here, it doesn't really stop the light cells from being connected. Wow, I'm not really seeing a starting point here. Other than I guess the number 2 spot here. Yeah, this is what it is. So if this sees that, it has to do that. That much. Okay. That then, in turn, means none of those can be dark. If this sees that, it has to be that pattern. Again, meaning none of those can be dark. We also know light sections have to connect, so that means at least those here and here are connecting. So that is closing in on this circle here. A 2 we don't know for certain whether this could be dark or this could be dark. One of those two could be. Same is true for here and here. So what's the next step? 2 could be dark here, here, or here. All we know here is not enough. So, well, wait a minute. We know none of these are dark because, well, no, they can be dark. They don't have to be 2 in a row. They can't be 2 in a row. And there are some scenarios like this can't be dark and this can't be dark because it would cut off that. These can't be both dark here. So it's saying, look here. Why is there a reason why that specifically would have to be that way? but I'm assuming that that is the case, and I'm going to take that assumption as far as it possibly will take me. And then this one would mean that has to connect there. Let's click the foresight. This one has to be light. Okay. Which makes that one have to be dark. Now that doesn't, as I understand it, mean these have to be light. Now, that means all of this now has to connect to at least that much. Which one of these two is dark? If this one was dark, would that be a real problem? Not really. So again, oh, this one is white, so this one has to be white. That does mean that has to go there. And that does mean the only way this is going to connect is there and there. The only way that's going to connect is there, and the only way that's going to connect is there. So that has to go there. And the only way that's going to connect is there. Okay. This island, barely having any architecture on that, does create a less of that Asian feel. Let's find the hidden pentads. I'm noticing that the sphere is fairly large, so we may find that we need to fly around. There really isn't a lot of places they could be anyways. Not sure I'm quite ready. Fly around, although flying around would have actually worked fairly well. Apparently there's another hidden pentad. Some more logic grids. Another thing. Okay. We connect all dark cells, we connect all light cells. That starts that way. That means that is dark. At the very least. Okay. And I'm already wrong, because we don't have a rule here that says this can't be black. So start over. So what is the trick here? Is there any way that this could be a checkerboard pattern, or does the fact that you need to connect all dark and light mean checkerboard patterns are out? Well, we know this much is true. Okay. That starts us one way. And then, do we have anything else we could do subtraction from? Well, wait a minute. If this sees only one, then we know that much is true. Then that means that's there. That means one way or another this disconnects outward. Not sure which yet. That locks that in there. Which means either the black goes all the way around to connect here, or it goes all the way around to connect here, which would not work because there's no way it is going to snake up here. But it could go up here and snake that way. So we don't know for certain how that's going to play out. One of these two has to be white. Yeah. At the very least. Does that help me with anything? Three here means at least one of these is black. Okay. So best case scenario, this has to be black. Because those two could be black too. If all three of these were black, that would work too. But if this was black and then these two were black, then this would be white and that would cut it off. Same is true for this case, same is true for this case. Since that has to be black, then that has to be black. Okay. And if this was black and this was black, then this could be black, but this couldn't be black. I can make some assumptions here pretty easily, but being absolutely certain, guess this has to be white. That didn't really help me much. I guess that would be right. White too. Okay. So apparently all of that is true. There. Now I'm not really sure why this one had to be white to get to that point. That means this has to be white to connect to that point there. That means that has to be black. That means that has to be black. That has to be white. That has to be white. Which means those two have to be black. I'm pretty sure. And just gonna go ahead and assume some things here. I still don't really know. I mean, now I guess because this is black, we know that is white. That makes that have to be black. That means The rest of this has to fill in. Then that means this has to be black. And overcounted. That needs to be white. That was a tougher one. Okay, one of these. And then 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. We have to connect all the dark ones. So inherently there is one white. How can we do that? I kind of feel like the corners there have to be black then. We know that much is true. Anyways. And then weirdly it does kind of just feel like you would do that. See, that gets everything correct except for the fact that there needs to be one black here. So what you would assume needs to happen here. Some kind of pattern. I guess it's this pattern. Not only worked because all the dark cells had to be connected, not all the white cells. And I think that was probably what I was misthinking, is that I was going to have to connect both. Which, yeah. Connect all the dark cells. Pretty easy. Connect all the dark cells. Connect all the dark cells. Connect all the dark cells. How? What's the trick here? It's got to be some kind of trick. Some kind of trick that would bring you back down lower. Guess it's gotta be this, doesn't it? Yeah. They showed me one trick and then they made me figure out a completely different trick. Okay. Don't make a square pattern, connect all the dark cells. We have 4 here and a 3 here. Yeah, but 1, so we know that it's going to make an upward movement. there. It's got to be something like that. No, it really doesn't have to be that, does it? Okay. That will clear out one thing. And since all the dark cells have to be connected, we can pretty much assume that but we can't do that, can we? Okay. So we were making good progress there. Nope, we weren't making good progress there. Well, that's what we get wrong. Oh yeah, I'm just making a lot of mistakes here, aren't I? If that is wrong, I have no clue how much could be wrong. So the visual pattern there changing quite a bit. So let's now reevaluate. That mat has to be targeted. Those all have to be that way. That has 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 to be that way. I took all of my foresights. Although, does that really matter? I'm not sure it really does. Okay. Okay, we're going to want to hit these flow orbs. I think there's really only 4 of them. I think starting at the top does make some sense. There's still 2 puzzles available in this area, and yeah. I think you only get sparks if you were to do the flow orbs again. So I'm not particularly motivated to try and do those. Now I will fully admit I don't believe that we are going to get an increase in speed as far as your movement speed at any point in this game. I don't think that's going to be an upgrade. If anything, I think the game is going to bask in giving you Grandmaster even shorter chase times to strive to. I kind of just don't believe it's going to matter. There is definitely a possibility that the game ends in a very weird way, in that it really doesn't ever end. We may never actually see any credits. The game may never have anything that feels like a boss fight or one final puzzle that is a culmination of all the other puzzles. We may very well just end up doing all the enclaves, and that will be that. Here, solve that one and that one. They're glowing gold, so no doubt. Where are these 2 extra very well hidden puzzles? My general thought would be this is a good island to suspect them to be on, considering we didn't see a lot on this island. Here's one. Okay. So now we have a combination of area effects. So we know that is... Wait, nope. That's not what that's saying at all. No, that's black. No. This has to be white. Then that has to be black. And then it has to be white, which also means everything around that has to be black. Okay. That means this has to be white. And this has to be white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Right, it has to be that way. Yeah, I just don't know. My instinct would say connect the darks and put a dark here, but it's not inherently necessary. This one is touching, I think, too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So what did we do wrong? Can't make that black. Interesting. Well, that changes everything, doesn't it? And it does tell me then where I made my mistake. This one's wrong. Now. This one's wrong. Now. One more puzzle. I still kind of suspect it's back on that island. But maybe not. Maybe it is hidden on this edge. There it is. Higher up than I thought it would be. All dark regions have 4, an area of 4. Interesting. Start with that. And that sets you up. Start with that. And that creates this weird situation where that has to be that way, doesn't it? Well, at least to that point. And we're connecting all light cells, so then that has to go out that way, and that has to go out that way. Then that means something like that would have to happen. That means that has to connect that way. And honestly, might as well just do that. What else are we going for? These could just all connect there. I guess they can't. Yeah, I don't see how this is gonna work. still is just not working. Let's use the foresights. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. I got no clue. That's wrong. Seriously. Are we getting any closer? Yeah, I'm just constantly like locking in this whole section. And that's the end of my foresights. And yeah, I'm mentally exhausted, so it's no surprise that I've run out of ideas. We kind of know that's true. That has to be true. And then that this had to have been true. So I wish there was a way to kind of lock those in. And since this had to be true, and so these two are dark, the only way that this would have worked otherwise would have been to make that dark, make all of that white, make that white, make that dark, and then do something like that. Then that would have locked in that spot. Yeah, there's just no way this is right. It still is not getting me anywhere close to being right. One of these has to touch. Just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't even know what to do otherwise. Here. Was there a possibility to go down this way? I guess. Suppose that could have been the case. And then I guess we could have gone that way. Nope. You have to absolutely do it that way. I don't get it. Okay, so you come out this way. You gotta come out that way. Still don't really have a way of doing 3. Still don't have a way of doing. Wow. Talk about just bumbling your way into it. Right. So we'll give this one more try. The only thing I could think that really would speed this up is just hopping, jumping, and landing. There. See, I would need like 2 more seconds. You'd think maybe in this area you would have a ring challenge where you would fly through rings. We've only seen that a couple of times. You see, when you're flung up here, you're locked into what is effectively a loading screen. That they're hiding a loading section, but that is totally what's happening. That's why you can't double or triple jump. And so we got several matchboxes here. Riverland Bridge, mysterious hidden cubes. So, environmental puzzles, perspective puzzles, hidden objects. Notice how that just disappeared. Yeah, there definitely are puzzles in this area, in the essential areas, that aren't permanent puzzles. Clearly there are some permanent puzzles too. You're just not going to have flat pieces of ground that are going to disappear and be replaced with nothing or something completely different. Although you could have these kinds of platforms that they could change what the puzzles are. Seconds of chroma sky drops, which I don't think are going to really help me. I suppose each area has shown us a central area that feels like it's kind of important. Not sure it really is important. It definitely feels like it's kind of important. Although this area in particular has a unique element in that there is a big hole in the middle of this section. You're having more of this waterfall. Well, it's going to be kind of a hassle to get back up there. Oh, well. I say that, once again forgetting that I just have a ability to jump up anywhere at any time. This is a tougher one. It's a fairly small area. So should be kind of hard for there to be hidden things. It's a rocky terrain. Is it possible that there's a cave or something? If there was a cave. There movement puzzles, environmental puzzles, interactive puzzles, and perspective puzzles. All working towards that rare luminous quest, and all things I'm not going to likely reach. So I wanted to see if there was anything special about this pagoda. And I imagine the answer to that is going to be no. All numbers are off by 1. Okay. It says this can't paint itself in a weird direction, doesn't it? Yeah, that can't be that. It can't be that, so this one has to be 1. Then if this one has to be 1, that doesn't work. It has to be 3. Okay. Yeah, I really don't want to solve a lot of puzzles here on the central area. I just wanted to see if there was something more here. Okay, so this is a good spot, I think, to start the next episode on. We'll do this tower. Overall, as far as Autumn Falls goes, we've done all the enclaves, which is more than we can say about the first area, because the dare of triunes, let's see, here required us to unlock 80 mirror blizzards, and only now, effectively 3/5 of the way through the game, have we unlocked enough of that to do. There's all kinds of trials, which we're not really doing the trials or the quests. Those are things I imagine we'll just focus on more later. And these gold symbols, these gold diamond symbols, are probably what we're trying to focus on the most of. This would be the last pillar of insight, and we haven't gotten any of the nope, we're not looking at the right place. So it'd be the first pillar of insight. We haven't gotten the all-seeing monolith done. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff to do. One assumes that perspective puzzles have to be done in Verdant Glen to count towards Verdant Glen, and that this isn't just the same quest for each area. Yeah, we know it isn't because it's different rewards, it's different amounts. So yeah, next episode we'll do the Pillar of Insight, and then we'll go to Shady Wildwood, which then really only leaves the Serene Deluge. And then at that point the whole world will be open, and we will definitely be into at least Act 2. This next area does feel like it's slightly bigger than this area was. This area feels like it was kind of small, but then also we really are only doing the enclaves. We have not touched upon the majority of the central hub of this game. I imagine there will be, in the second act, more reasons to do that. Right now, our motivation is still fairly lackluster in the fact that you're really just upgrading your abilities to get more sparks, to get more upgrades. It's a kind of pointless system. Oh, wait a minute. If this increases the max speed when we're gliding, then all of those chase puzzles we've done before, we now know absolutely what the thing to have done was. Okay, so yeah, the strategy clearly is to not do the chase challenges and try and get gold for them early in game, because you're going to need that 20% gliding speed, which will just make everything easier. And then steep dives might also speed things up. We've now leveled ourselves up to the point where this is no longer gated either. And so level 30, and then after we get to level 30 it would unlock the Grandmaster times, which is another point to point out, that getting this upgrade is not even going to be helpful until you have this, because you're going to want to get those Grandmaster times. Maybe you want to get them. Maybe it doesn't matter in the long run though, because these mastery levels, seems like we've got a new item. Yeah, these mastery levels may just go up. We still haven't seen 2 puzzles. And then for that same reason, the encyclopedia puzzle types haven't increased at all. That hasn't increased at all. We are getting closer to having all of the insights unlocked, but I imagine every little gap here is one of the Pillar of Insights I just skipped. And as we walk around, we're still running into lore givers who are still giving us small bits of lore, but none of it matters. Of course, if it was voice acted, if I could walk around and work on puzzles while hearing a longer monologue from characters, I would appreciate that much more. That's one of the things that BioShock, as a first-person shooter game, really went above and beyond in the first BioShock, in that you had these recordings you could pick up, and they would just play as you're running around and looking for bullets and or shooting enemies. Let's see, we just got something new, I think, which is just a color swap of something we already had, which really are the most pathetic upgrades as far as outfits I've ever seen. Yeah. And I absolutely still have no idea why you would want to play this kind of game in an MMO fashion. That the only thing that might make some sense is that if you just wanted to do some kind of co-op puzzle solving, the 10,000 plus puzzles this game claims to have makes some sense at that point, that there would just be too many of them. But in a weird way, 10,000 puzzles then is too few if it was supposed to be more like an augmented reality game where people work together to solve a giant collection of puzzles. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case either. Anyways, we've already gone well past 3 hours, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and keep on watching. Thanks.